Here is something that surprises many people. A large number of adults over the age of 60 wake up multiple times each night just to use the bathroom. For many, it happens twice or more, every single night. And while it may feel like a small inconvenience at first, over time it becomes something much bigger. Those interruptions take away from the long, uninterrupted rest your body truly needs. Deep sleep plays an important role in keeping you steady, focused, and energized throughout the day. It supports the way your muscles recover, the way your memory organizes information, and the way your body maintains a sense of balance. When that sleep is repeatedly interrupted, especially several times each night, the effects can accumulate quietly. Many older adults feel more tired during the day, more mentally foggy, or simply less steady on their feet without realizing that broken sleep is part of the reason. But here is the part most people don't think about. When someone wakes up multiple times during the night to use the bathroom, it doesn't just interrupt rest, it can also create risky situations, especially when walking through a dark hallway or navigating a bedroom half awake. Quiet trips to the bathroom may not seem like a big deal, but the combination of darkness, sleepiness, and slower reaction times can increase the chance of losing balance, and maintaining confidence in your stability and independence becomes more important with each passing year. What often makes this problem so frustrating is the belief that nothing can be done. Many people assume that waking up repeatedly at night is simply part of aging, something unavoidable. They imagine their bladder has weakened permanently, or that the only options are to limit water all evening or rely on medications they don't feel comfortable using. But the truth may be very different. Over the past several years, research has shown that certain simple exercises can make a real difference. These aren't complicated programs or strenuous routines. They're gentle movements that can be done at home, in a living room, without equipment. These exercises work by supporting the muscles and systems that help regulate fluid in the body and improve bladder control. And the results from studies are surprisingly encouraging. The most interesting part is that the top exercise on today's list is something most people would never expect to be helpful for nighttime bathroom trips. But research from respected universities shows that regularly practicing this one simple movement can lead to meaningful improvements in just a matter of weeks. For many participants, nighttime bathroom visits decreased significantly. That extra rest allowed them to feel more refreshed, more stable, and more in tune with their body throughout the day. So stay with me because we'll get to that exercise soon. And I think you may find the explanation behind it both surprising and empowering. Before we start, feel free to share in the comments your age and where you're watching from. We read every comment because this community matters to us, and hearing from you helps shape the content we create. Now let's begin with exercise number 5 and work our way toward the most impactful one. Number 5, seated marching. We'll start with something simple, something that looks almost too easy at first glance. Seated marching involves sitting in a stable chair and lifting your legs one at a time as if you were gently walking in place while seated. It feels uncomplicated, and many people wonder how something so straightforward could possibly influence nighttime bathroom trips. But what happens inside your body while you do this movement consistently may surprise you. To understand why it works, it helps to know what happens to fluid in the body during the day. When you sit or stand for long periods, gravity naturally draws fluid down into your legs. Over time, this can lead to swelling in the ankles or lower legs, something many older adults experience. This fluid buildup doesn't cause problems immediately, but once you lie down for the night, the body finally has the chance to move all that fluid back into circulation. Your kidneys begin filtering it, and your bladder fills more quickly than it does during daytime hours. In other words, it's not that your bladder suddenly becomes more active at night. It's that your body is finally processing all the fluid that stayed in your legs throughout the day. Seated marching helps by activating the muscles in your legs, especially the calves. These muscles act almost like a secondary pump that helps move fluid upward through the body instead of letting it settle in your lower limbs. When you do seated marching regularly, you help clear that fluid while you're awake, reducing the amount that needs to be processed while you're asleep. One study focusing on older adults who struggled with nighttime bathroom trips found that simple leg exercises performed in the afternoon reduced nighttime awakening significantly over several weeks. Participants who didn't do the exercises saw little change, but those who did them consistently experienced meaningful improvements. To perform seated marching, sit near the front edge of a steady chair with your feet flat on the floor. Keep your back straight and relaxed. Lift one knee gently toward your chest, lower it, then lift the other. The movement doesn't need to be fast. The goal is steady, controlled activation of the muscles. Start with a short session, maybe 2 minutes, and gradually increase to 5 minutes at a comfortable pace. Many people find this exercise most effective when done 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. This gives the body time to clear the mobilized fluid while you're still awake. Consistency is truly the key. It's not about intensity or pushing yourself hard. It's about doing the movement regularly enough that your body benefits from the steady support. Now let's move to the next exercise, which builds on this same idea but offers an even stronger effect. Number 4, standing calf raises. While seated marching is a great starting point, standing calf raises take this idea further by engaging your calf muscles under your full body weight. This makes the pumping action in the legs stronger and more effective at moving fluid upward. Many people are surprised to learn that these simple movements can influence nighttime bathroom trips, but the connection becomes clear once you understand what the calves actually do. Your calf muscles play a major role in keeping circulation moving smoothly through your legs. When you stand and lift your heels off the ground, those muscles contract and help push fluid up toward your heart. When you lower your heels slowly, the muscles stretch and prepare for the next pump. Over time, practicing this movement supports healthier circulation and reduces the amount of fluid that settles in your legs throughout the day. Research involving older adults who practiced calf raises regularly showed that nighttime bathroom trips became less frequent, and the first wake up of the night often occurred much later. This means they enjoyed longer periods of deeper, uninterrupted sleep before needing to get up. And for many, this extra hour or two of continuous rest made a noticeable difference in how steady, refreshed, and focused they felt the following day. To perform standing calf raises, position yourself behind a sturdy chair or near a wall so you can gently hold on for balance. Stand with your feet at hip width and rise slowly onto the balls of your feet. As you lift your heels, feel your calf muscles engage. Hold this position briefly, then lower your heels slowly, with control. Avoid dropping down quickly. The lowering phase is just as valuable as the lifting. If you're new to this movement, start with a small number of repetitions, maybe 10, and gradually build up to 3 sets of 15. Take short breaks between sets. What matters most is consistency and control, not how high you lift or how quickly you move. If balance is a concern, you can modify this exercise by keeping your back lightly against a wall or using both hands for support. Some people even begin by doing this movement seated with their feet on the edge of a step before progressing to the standing version. Doing calf raises in the late afternoon tends to give the best results because your body has time to process the fluid movement before bedtime. Whether you do all the repetitions in one session or spread them throughout the afternoon is entirely up to you. Both approaches can be helpful. Standing calf raises are simple, but their impact builds steadily. Many people find that as their circulation improves, their sleep becomes less interrupted and their nights feel calmer and more restorative. Now, let's move to an exercise that targets an entirely different set of muscles, ones that play a surprisingly important role in nighttime urination. Number 3, pelvic floor strengthening. You may have heard the term pelvic floor exercises before, but many people don't realize just how important these muscles become as we age. The pelvic floor is a group of muscles located at the base of the pelvis, creating a supportive structure for the bladder and surrounding organs. When these muscles are strong, they help manage urgency and maintain control until reaching the bathroom. When they weaken, it's common to experience more frequent urges, especially during the night. Pelvic floor exercises are often associated with women, particularly after childbirth, but they are equally valuable for men. In fact, many older men benefit greatly from strengthening these muscles, even if they've never heard of the pelvic floor before. The good news is that these exercises can be done discreetly, anywhere, and without equipment. The first step is identifying the correct muscles. Imagine you are trying to gently stop the flow of urine, not actually doing it, but imagining the motion. The sensation should feel like a gentle lift inside the pelvis. You should not feel your stomach tightening, your thighs tensing, or your breath being held. The movement is small, internal, and controlled. Once you've identified the right muscles, gently contract them and hold for about 5 seconds. Then relax fully for another 5 seconds. This counts as one repetition. Begin with 10 repetitions in a row and aim to repeat this sequence 3 times a day, in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Over time, as the muscles strengthen, you can increase the hold to 10 seconds. Some people also benefit from adding quick, short contractions, lifting the pelvic floor for 1 second and relaxing. This helps the muscles respond faster when a sudden urge appears. What makes pelvic floor work so effective is consistency. These muscles respond well to regular, gentle training. Most people begin to notice changes after several weeks, not immediately, so it's important to stay patient and persistent. What's especially helpful is that pelvic floor exercises can be done while sitting in a chair, lying down, or even standing in line at a store. No one can see you doing them, which makes this one of the easiest exercises to fit into daily routines. As these muscles grow stronger, many people experience fewer urgency episodes, more calm during the evening, and fewer interruptions during the night. Strengthening the pelvic floor gives your body an added layer of support and can make nighttime rest feel more stable and predictable. Now let's move forward to one of the simplest and most effective movements you can add to your daily routine. Number 2, daily walking. Walking may seem like ordinary advice, something too simple to make a real difference. But when it comes to reducing nighttime bathroom wake-ups, walking influences several important systems at once. Walking activates your calf muscles with every step, which helps keep fluid from pooling in the legs. But it also stimulates the lymphatic system, a network that helps move waste and excess fluid throughout the body. The lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like the heart, so it relies on movement, especially walking, to work efficiently. Research following older adults over several years found that those who walked regularly had fewer nighttime bathroom interruptions, better sleep quality, and more consistent energy during the day. Even short daily walks made a meaningful difference. Another study looked specifically at people who already struggled with frequent nighttime urination. After several weeks of daily walking, many reported reducing their nighttime wake-ups by more than 1 episode per night, a change that preserved at least 1 extra full sleep cycle each night. For walking to be most effective, a moderate pace works best. You don't need to push yourself to the point of exhaustion. A pace that raises your heart rate slightly but still allows you to hold a conversation is ideal. Many people benefit from walking in the late afternoon or early evening, a time when the body can move fluid before bedtime without overstimulating the mind. If you're new to walking or haven't been active for a while, even starting with 10 minutes is meaningful. Add a few minutes each week until you reach 30 minutes or more. Outdoor walks can engage more muscles because of varied movement, but walking indoors or on a treadmill can also be helpful. Consistency, once again, is the most important factor. Walking 5 days a week usually brings better results than walking once or twice for longer periods. It's the steady rhythm of movement that helps your body regulate fluid better and rest more comfortably at night. And now we've reached the final exercise, the one with the most powerful potential to change your nightly routine. Number 1, bladder training combined with timed voiding. This final method is not a physical movement like the previous exercises, but it is one of the most influential techniques you can use. Many people think bladder habits are fixed and unchangeable, but the bladder is actually a responsive muscle that can be gently retrained over time. With the right approach, it can learn to hold more comfortably and signal less urgently. Bladder training works by helping your bladder become less sensitive and more capable of holding a normal amount of fluid without sending frequent signals. Over the years, many people develop a pattern of visiting the bathroom at the slightest urge, even when the bladder is nowhere near full. This teaches the bladder to expect shorter intervals and smaller volumes, leading to more frequent trips both during the day and at night. The goal of bladder training is to gradually lengthen the time between bathroom visits, giving your bladder the chance to adjust. The first step is awareness. For several days, keep a simple log of when you go to the bathroom. Many people are surprised to discover they visit much more often than they thought. Once you know your usual interval, you can begin to extend it by a small amount, about 15 minutes at first. If the urge appears before your new scheduled time, don't immediately rush to the bathroom. Sit if you're standing, take slow breaths, or do a few short pelvic floor contractions. These techniques help the initial wave of urgency settle. Most urges fade if you give them a moment instead of acting on them instantly. When the wave passes, continue waiting until your scheduled time. Each week, extend the interval by another 15 minutes. Over several weeks, many people find they can increase their interval significantly, sometimes even doubling the time between bathroom trips. As the bladder becomes less sensitive, it holds more comfortably, and nighttime wake-ups often decrease as a natural result. For nighttime specifically, some people use a technique called timed voiding. It involves choosing one consistent time halfway through your sleep to use the bathroom before urgency builds. This doesn't disrupt the entire night. Instead, it helps prevent the bladder from reaching a level of fullness that would wake you abruptly. Over time, this can reduce nighttime urgency altogether. Combining bladder training with pelvic floor exercises and light activity during the day creates a powerful support system. These approaches work together to reduce urgency, improve muscle control, and encourage the bladder to function with more stability and less sensitivity. Some small adjustments can make the training even more effective. Reducing caffeine in the afternoon and evening helps because caffeine encourages the body to produce more urine. Being mindful of evening fluid intake without restricting too heavily can also support calm nighttime rhythms. Now let's bring everything together. You now have 5 thoughtful, practical exercises and habits that can support calmer, more restful nights. Gentle movements like seated marching and standing calf raises help keep fluid from pooling in your legs. Pelvic floor exercises strengthen the muscles that help manage urgency. Walking supports circulation and helps your body process fluids more efficiently. And bladder training helps your internal signals become steadier and less reactive. None of these steps require special equipment, strict routines, or overwhelming effort. What they do require is consistency and patience. Small, steady steps taken each day can lead to meaningful improvements within several weeks. And for many people, those improvements feel life-changing, not only because they sleep better, but because their days feel clearer, steadier, and more energized. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which approach feels most doable for you right now? Will you begin with something simple like seated marching, or do you feel ready to try bladder training? Sharing your thoughts can help others who feel unsure about where to start. If you or someone you care about has experienced sleepless nights due to frequent bathroom trips, feel free to share your experience in the comments. Hearing from others creates community and reminds people that they're not alone in what they're going through. Thank you for spending this time with us today. If this video brought you clarity or comfort, consider subscribing and sharing it with someone who may benefit from it. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful content that informs and empowers. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.